Hi everyone, it's Rob at ASFC Chemistry. I'm just going to go over the three different types of calculation that you might need to do in an enthalpy question following the OCR-A specification. So you've got three different types of calculation. You're either going to do Q equals mc delta T followed up by minus Q over N, or you're going to do bonds broken minus bonds formed, or you're going to do 2 and 3, which are these two roots, added together to find out what the 1 would be over the top. But obviously it's completely contextual on what kind of data you're given in the exam. If you're given a temperature change, some information about moles or a mass value, then it's normally the Q up here. They sometimes split this into two separate sections, and the way to figure out if they've done that is to look at the units. Q is only in joules or kilojoules, if you then divide your answer by 1,000, whereas delta RH, so the enthalpy change, is kilojoules per mole. So you can always have a look at the units of your answer at the end. They normally give them in the answer space to help you pick which one you should be using or both. If you think you should be using bonds broken minus bonds formed, you would be given average bond enthalpy data or mean bond enthalpy data. Remember, these values are values for a bond, the amount of energy required to break a bond in the gaseous state, and it's 1 mole of that bond. Now, these are averages taken from a range of compounds, so your value isn't going to be perfect for the actual calculation or the actual equation you're putting together, but it is going to be a very close representation. But I suppose that's one of the limitations of using the mean bond enthalpies. Down here, what you've got is you've got to be able to draw the correct Hesse diagram cycle first. It's all based on what data you are given. And what we can see here is if you're given enthalpy of formation data, regardless of what the A to B is, it could be anything. A to B could be a combustion, but it wouldn't matter. You would always show the elements at the bottom in the position of the C and the arrows going up from those. And then this arrow over here would be reversed and the sign on the numbers on that side reversed as well. If you are given enthalpies of combustion, like we've got over here, you would show everything from the top line going down to the combustion products at the bottom. Most of the time, the combustion products here are just CO2 and H2O. And remember, you don't need to balance the bottom part of this. Only the top equation needs to be balanced. Then this arrow on the right-hand side needs to be reversed, so you get the full cycle round like so. And so you reverse the arrow and reverse the sign, just like we did on the left-hand side over here, but it is obviously the opposite side. Again, this is all dependent on the data you're given. So whether you're given experimental information, mean bond enthalpies, enthalpies of formation, and enthalpies of combustion, hopefully you now know which calculation you should be doing. Please make sure you leave a comment if you want a specific tutorial going over, or send us a tweet at ASFC_chemistry.